And I'm really, really honored and happy to be very here. There are many reasons why I'm happy to be here today. First of all, I'm from Ubomosho. And not just from Ubomosho, my dad and my mom are from Ubomosho. So you could say that anytime I'm here, I'm fully at home. It's proper upcoming. The second reason, my dad is from Ilashim Pamashifa, not far from the church. So you see that I'm as close as it can be. Second reason is that I'm opening a resource center today called the Oluseun Onigbinde Resource Center. You can't miss it. It's next to item 7 Go. It's just a building right beside it. We're starting today. And I would call this my own personal, they say punchlines, but I won't give you punchlines. I'll give you lifelines. I mean, yeah. And the reality is because these are some of the few things I personally live by. And there were a lot of reflection. In 2018, I took a year off work. I've been running budget. Budget is a civic organization. Some people call it a civic conglomerate. We work around ensuring that everybody can understand public finance and can hold government accountable on the basis of that. So 2019, after putting 7 years in, I took a step back from budget and went on a break. It was a break that was funded by the Obama Foundation. Got me an opportunity to meet Barack Obama 3 times. And it was at Columbia University in New York. So it was 1 year, not doing too much, just for you to reflect, rethink, and imagine your leadership journey. And it was in those times that I reflected about what I'm going to talk to you about today, and some of the things that has become catalysts for my own kind of life. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about is the complexities of this world. There are 2 parts of the world that we're driving at every day. One is idealism, and one is realism. A lot of times as young people, we're frustrated because we think in ideal states. What do I mean by that? A lot of you are frustrated about why Nigeria is how it is. Why can't we have power? Why do we have to queue for fuel? Why is the education system this bad? Why is the health system this bad? Because you are constantly saying this is the way the society, where you should be. This is how the society should work. But the reality is that there's also a world out there that is a realistic world. A world where somebody will sell his vote for 2,500 naira. A world where politicians will steal money and the people will still roll out drums and welcome them. Am I right? It's still the same world in which we are not so sure about what is morally right and what is morally wrong. Where sometimes the lines of ethics keep getting blurred day by day. But there's some things that you must carry in your mind as you build a nexus around the ideal state of where you want Nigeria to be. And sometimes it's not just about the nation. It's about yourself. This is where you want to be. You want to be a millionaire in 5 years' time. You want to travel out of the country in another 5 years. You want to be a big person. You want to be known. You want to have that recognition. Well, it might not happen. It's not impossible that it will happen. But it's not impossible that you don't get it. So you must constantly oscillate between 2 worlds. A world of idealism and a world of realism. Because it says the road to idealism is understanding realism. This is the current state of things. Because if you don't understand the current state of things, we cannot even get to where we are supposed to get to. If we are not carrying a whole lot of humility in our minds, we cannot even understand where exactly we want to be. If we are not patient enough with the current state of things, we cannot be impatient about where we want to be. So as in your mind, you live in 2 worlds at the same time. When someone asks, why am I not frustrated with Nigeria about all the things I do? I say, because I live in 2 worlds. I live in an ideal world and I live in a realistic world. An ideal world, I know where Nigeria should be, so I'm constantly fighting for that. A realistic world, I know that it's going to take time before we can get there. So you are patient and impatient at the same time. You are patient because you know it will take time, because you know you cannot impregnate a lady today and it's going to give back tomorrow morning. You know you are going to wait for 9 months for the process. We are also impatient because you know you are running out of time. And that is the first thing I want to share with you today about how do you constantly live in those two worlds together. And that takes me to my second point. The second point is about how do you bring mild compromises and strange allies. I always tell someone that we are in a very complex environment and that we must ask ourselves, if we protest from today till tomorrow, and that's the same about Daniel Juku, if we go on social media and we tweet and we engage and we make the noise, the reality is that we're going to come back to the table to discuss. The system is challenged, but it doesn't mean that we are not going to engage the system. You get to a workplace and you don't like your boss. You are going to get into settings, and that's not the most friendly kind of people. Because people are not the way you design them to be. So you must understand that how do I make my adjustments from this, if you say God-forsaken boss, who doesn't just want to engage, who doesn't see the work I do. So those adjustments, those compromises, not like this is my way or then it's no other way. Because we live in a world where it says, tell your own truth, own your own truth, stand your ground. But the world is much more complex than that. The world is not that simplistic. The world is not that simple. And as much as possible, you will not understand some certain things in this world as you are trying to navigate because the world is complex. You can say, oh, I'm an elite. I can't sit down with common folks. They're not my kind of people. But at the end of the day, the vote of a professor is also the same one vote of a commoner. So as much as possible, understand and rethink about how context can be very complex. Because human beings are not just robots. Anytime you ask an AI something, AI can never tell you, I don't know. It will tell you something. Because you've programmed the robots. Human beings can clearly tell you, I don't really know. Human beings have emotions. Human beings tell you yes today, and today they tell you no. Human beings are happy today, and tomorrow they no longer are feeling it anymore. So the complexity of human beings is what we have to think through. And that takes me to my next point also, where we also understand that as much as these things are complex, we must tell our stories. As people, whatever challenges we are facing, whatever issues we are facing, whatever nexus we're finding between idealism and realism, when we're trying to navigate the world and we're trying to find a balance between the way we think the world should be and where it is, we must tell our stories. When we are in this state now, we must be patient, we must be resilient, we must what? Tell our stories. The next thing I wanted to share with you about is that human beings are a problem. Every time we think it's technology, so we're bringing a solution, we're bringing a tool, we're building something that doesn't fix on nothing. That's the problem with Nigeria. They will set up a committee, and if a committee does not fix it, they'll do what? They set up another committee. So you now have a committee reviewing another committee of another committee of another committee's reports. That is the situation. Or sometimes we say we go and build the app, we go and build the website. Most of the time it doesn't change anything. Or we say it's the legislation that is a problem. The problem of Nigerian oil industry, it does not have a petroleum industry bill. So we go and write the Petroleum Industry Act, and NNPC is still NNPC. The value system problem. And that's the things that we must carry in our mind as we move forward. The other part I want to share with you, I have like 4 more things to tell you about, is you must find your own quiet times. As people, the world is a very noisy place right now. A very, very noisy place. From your phone, WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Instagram, it looks like that's the devil's workshop, and everybody's comparing each other, and then everybody's trying to outdo each other. But most importantly is that you must find your quiet time. Everybody you find, trying to navigate this world, or trying to make success in this world, take a time to withdraw. I was listening to Barack Obama, and the reality is that in most proper societies, a president or a leader keeps two kinds of people of different opinion. The same way we had the game and we have A and B. So have people that will argue to the left, and you have people that will argue to what? To the right. And everybody will say their own, everybody will make their case, everybody will say this is our pro, our con. We should shoot that plane. We should bomb that place. We should. By the end of the day, the final decision lies in is connecting with others. Don't make that mistake to think you can fix things or do things alone. It's a dangerous assumption to have. You cannot do it all alone. Even Jesus Christ on the way to the cross, at the point somebody took the cross off him, am I right? And said, I will help you down to that path. So as much as possible, you need that help as a human. So please connect with others. Connect with people that can add value to you. Connect with people that can take you to your place of promise. Share notes with them. Get encouragement from them. Understand with them. Think about what they are doing and how you can be of value to their lives. Also, to think about what you can do different. Being intentional about connecting with others. Being selfless and kind about connecting with others. Seeing connecting with others not just as an end, not just as a means, but as an end. An end that means this is for joy, for kindness. It's not just about what I can get from this person, it's how I'm connecting with people. A lot of times we make that mistake. Even the Bible quietly told us, but we don't pay attention. It says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and every other thing shall be added. So seek ye first what makes people excited, what makes them happy, what makes them joyful. Not just this person knows this person, I can connect me to this person, I can meet Dangote, and next thing I've collected 1 million naira. I mean, that's how we make the mistake. We connect as a means, we don't connect as a end. A question someone asked Barack Obama, I won't forget that question. One very interesting guy from Singapore. He said, sir, how do you become a president? And I was in that, I said, like, this is a good question. Because I heard people say, I want to be a first lady, I want to be a president, I want to be a governor. And the question is, how do you become something like this? And the answer I gave to him was very interesting in my mind. Something I've reflected upon is that how do you have a life of service? It's not just about how I get to the top. Because a lot of people in Nigeria, one of the big problems we have in Nigeria is a lot of people at the top, they don't understand why they are there. They don't understand that this is the opportunity for me to be of service to the people. So, all it is in their lives that I'm not the president. No. It is how do I become a person of service. The people here were volunteers. Not because TEDxLAUTECH management is going to give them money. No. But they found value in service, in being of help, in showing up in spaces to be of help. And a lot of times that is how great people are built. Because you see that they continue to offer themselves in environments and it opens up their mind, it opens up opportunities for them. It's the same way you see someone come to this town to say, I want to do something for women shop. But no. If you open a resource center to run for office, no. If running for office comes out as a fallout of the year, good. If it doesn't come, that's all good. The first question is that in the little you have, you're trying to be of service to humanity. Millions of people that are pastors and afar have told them that you become president of Nigeria. The reality is that you must be through the life of service. Final point, two more points is power is power. And it's very important that Tunde said something. He said you can do great things from a what? From a small place. A lot of times we see power in a complex dynamic. We don't understand that from a small place we also hold power. What Tunde has done, he has shown that you don't, and how much cultural symbolism he has given to Nigeria, how much cultural relevance is given to Nigeria. The governors want to shake it, everyone wants to be that, vice president is tweeting about it, president is tweeting about it, wish you well. It's because people misunderstand power. They think it's only when you have 20 jeeps and your sirens are blasting all over the place that is power. No, that's not power. That is not power. There are people that they can say X, like we are mobilizing for elections, for protests today. Someone's going to have a conversation in National Rock about it. That what exactly is happening in the air. So we must not misunderstand what we call power as to say it's about position. No. Power has nothing to do with our position. In our own small spaces, we carry voices, carry abilities that can be transformative. And we must protect that. You want to become, you say, yeah, become a minister, that's fine. I'm not desperate for it. If you want to become governor, well, if the people of Oyo State find me worthy and I put myself forward, it is fine. But in the small space I am, I'm confident and I'm competent and I'm excited that I carry enough power and making an impact in the society. And that's something we must carry so that we don't look ourselves less. So someone doesn't walk up with 20 guns and with 20 military people or 20 police people and we now feel that guy feels powerful than me. No, that power can be gone in a second. It can be impeached in a second. It can be removed in a second. And everybody you see around him, what? Walk away. So we carry power. Let's not make that mistake. Let's not think ourselves too small that we are highly irrelevant. Some people will say, after God, now what? Now God. I say it's a lie. After God, it is the power of the people. And last point is that take care of yourself. Don't forget to take care of yourself. As much as people, we are very busy people. We are very, we are frustrated. The GPA is not GPA. You understand what I mean? The lecturer is not helping me out. I don't even know if I get out of this place, I'm going to ever even get a job or whatever business I'm doing is going to be. When I invest these days, I see almost every student is doing something. They are selling thrift wares, they are doing makeup. I say, when we were in school, we were only reading books. We were not even. The even people that were selling things in school, then we saw them like maybe people that needed financial help to keep going to school. But we didn't, it wasn't normal for students to become so like business people or businessmen or businesswomen. But these days I see almost every student that I know, if you see them on their maybe WhatsApp status or IG, they're selling something. But come to that situation, and I understand the dynamics are changing, the economies are changing, but don't still forget to pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to your physical health. Pay attention to your mental health. Pay attention to your sexual health. The whole lot of times is extremely important because if we break down, believe me, the world moves on. We are too small in the universe. Even though our voice is loud enough, the universe won't take a pause for anybody. As much as possible, don't forget to take care of your loved ones. Don't forget to be there for your loved ones. Don't forget to be nice and kind to the people. And most importantly, don't forget to take care of yourself. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you today.